I'm live. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I am in Guelph. Some of you obviously knew this is where I was going to be. And indeed, this is where I am. And hello, Alan K. Kwan, and hello, Alex, and hello, Capellan, and Bilal. How you doing? And Toronto's doo-wop music guy, and Godwin. Yes, I'm in Guelph. Hey, Scott Briggs, how you doing? Hey, Brett Malon is here. What else we got here? Trying to read these chats here in this bright sunlight. It's not easy. Hey, Michael Wynn, John O'Meara, Marie Palmer. Alright, Whitby Dude. So, welcome everybody. And yes, Meghan is not here yet. She's going to be coming to meet up with me a bit later. So I'm going to start the walk around downtown Guelph solo here. And Meghan will meet up with me maybe in about an hour or so. And then her and I will stream together from that point on, making our way back towards her neighborhood from downtown Guelph. Hello, Doug. Hey, Rhonda Lloyd, Matt Chan. So I'm at the Guelph Transit Terminal here, where all the Guelph Transit buses all meet up. And I got off the GO bus just across the street over here. Hey, Dave Elliott. So yeah, this is only my second recent visit to Guelph. In October of 2020, I came here and met up with Meghan, and I shot a video with Meghan where we walked around downtown Guelph. That was a pre-recorded video. But never have I live streamed in Guelph before. So this is a first. Scott Briggs. It's about an hour driving on the highway in a car. However, I took the GO bus, so it took 2 hours because the GO bus weaves all over the place through the suburbs and it stops all the time. Stops constantly, really, once you start weaving through Brampton and Georgetown and making your way on Highway 7 towards Guelph. It becomes almost like a local service. Chris Smith, this is where Meghan lives. You might have seen Meghan appear in some of my videos, my girlfriend. This is where she lives. She lives in Guelph. Whitby Dude, I think the train doesn't run on weekends to Guelph. So the buses, weekdays, I believe there's a train. Let's hippity hoppity down to Happy Trail. Hey Sunjiv, how you doing? Maroof is here, and hello to anyone who I didn't notice saying hello to me in the chat. I'm sure I'll see you again at some point as we go, and I'll say hello properly. So this is Guelph. It has a population of about 118,000. And it's known as a university town. The University of Guelph is located here. And it is within the Greater Golden Horseshoe, which is the largely urbanized area that wraps around the western end of Lake Ontario and extends out quite a distance to include many satellite cities around the Greater Toronto area. Guelph being one of them. And Kitchener-Waterloo is another metro area not too far from Guelph, which is also part of the Greater Golden Horseshoe. And Kitchener-Waterloo has, I think, upwards of 600,000 people now in the metropolitan area, so it's becoming quite a large area in its own right. Yes, and Guelph has many of these beautiful old historic limestone buildings. Yes, and that's right. Happy Easter weekend to all those who like to celebrate Easter. And it feels pretty chilly, I'm not going to lie. I think it's around 6 degrees, but there's a bit of a nip in the air. I see a fire escape right over there. That's right. So I'm just going to wander around downtown, I suppose, for the next little while, and maybe we'll check out some nearby residential neighborhoods just on the edge of downtown. And eventually I'm going to make my way up to that large church you see up ahead, and that's where I'll be meeting up with Meghan. Bilal, there is a GO train, but it runs only on weekdays, not on weekends. At least for now. Maybe at some point they'll add weekend train service to Guelph as GO increases its service, but it's not the case right now. And I'm going to try to not get a copyright claim here in Guelph. I think this would be an outdoor patio here, once the weather's nice. Last time I was in Guelph, we were in the middle of lots of lockdown measures. Some things were open, but there were still lots of restrictions in place. And here's Fat Bastard Burrito. It's not a burrito, boys, but I guess that would do in a pinch. Hey, Vivian Johnson, how you doing? That's okay, I just started the stream just about less than 10 minutes ago. Is this considered a downtown? Yeah, this is downtown Guelph, yeah. This is pretty typical for a small city downtown, you know. Sort of low-rise buildings. And there are a few high-rise apartment buildings. You can see up ahead there's one up there, and a few mid-rise office buildings. There are some buildings in Guelph that go upwards of 20 stories or so, some residential buildings. Oh, you've been to the to that burrito place, have you? The Amish Gamer. So there are a couple of main streets here downtown. This is one of them. And I'll make my way to the other one. be a record store. Yeah, Guelph is actually not too bad when it comes to music and live entertainment and things of that nature. Being a university town, it tends to cultivate lots of artistic endeavors, and it has a pretty large population of people engaged in the arts and music. There was one really cool band from the early 2000s called the Constantines that hailed from Guelph, and they got a lot of good press. I remember at the time, during the big indie rock wave that sort of became popular in the early 2000s. And also I believe Jane Siberry is from Guelph. She was a well-known Canadian singer in the 1980s, recording artist. Hey, Steve Mikra, how's it going? Who else? Nev Campbell, that's right. Nev Campbell, the actress, is also from Guelph. Any fans of Party of Five? Hey, Joseph Bondu, how's it going? Well, Megan's going to be meeting up with me a bit later. I'm going to meet up with her over here at the big church. And then her and I will walk together, making our way down to where she lives in Guelph. Tom Tim Tung, you used to live in Guelph, Paisley Street. Did you go to the University of Guelph? Hey, Michael Stern. Yeah, I think there's some fire escapes on some of these old buildings here. You went to GCVI, is that Guelph Collegiate Vocational Institute?
You wouldn't consider yourself a younger professional?
Alright, let's see what we can find down here. Hey, Dave Elliott. Yeah, I mean, the sky looks pretty nice, but it's kind of chilly. A little bit cold out here. Hey, Steve Mikra, $2. Sounds like the wind followed you from Toronto. Yeah, I think so. I think you might be right there, Steve, but thank you very much. There's a Guelph high-rise apartment building. Chris Smith. I don't know about that, Chris Smith, but we're going to meet up at that awesome church. And there's a really awesome view from that church, too, because it's perched up on that hill. Vivian Johnson, this is just a day trip. I'm actually heading back to Toronto tonight on the Go bus. Christopher Haydock, yes. I think we can find a Guelph fire escape. It's pretty quiet here in downtown Guelph right now. Can get pretty lively though. It does have somewhat of a nightlife scene, or at least it did. I mean, I'm sure it still does. I remember I came here in the 90s to hit up some of the cool places downtown with a friend of mine who was from Guelph. There were lots of student bars. I remember the Trashateria was one that we went to. So here's the other main street. This is Wyndham Street. Let's go up this way. That's right, happy Passover as well. Oh my, Vivian Johnson, $27.99. A bit to help get something for me and Meghan to eat. Wow, thank you very, very kindly, Vivian. A generous super chat. Definitely will put that to good use. I think the buildings here are actually really nice. They're well preserved, in good condition. And today is technically not a holiday, so this should be a regular business day. But Meghan was saying a lot of places still might be closed downtown today. And she was right about this one. Closed today and tomorrow and Monday. So a lot of people are just taking the whole Easter weekend off. In downtown Toronto, of course, today is mostly a regular day in the city in terms of what's open and closed. I mean, in terms of retail anyway. The Eaton Centre is probably packed with people. Hey Christine, yeah. This is Meghan's town. She was born in Toronto, but she moved to Guelph when she was pretty young, so she basically grew up here in Guelph. And then once she was university age, she moved back to Toronto. And she lived in Toronto for a good 10 years after she left Guelph. And then she moved back to Guelph in 2020. Alan K. Kwan, $5. Have a happy Easter. Thank you very much, Alan. And same to you. And Michelle Briggs, my goodness, $27.99. Wow, thank you for the generous super chat, Michelle. Hope you have a great weekend too. And I hope you enjoy this tour of Guelph. What do people call it? There's nicknames for Guelph, isn't there? Like G-Spot or G-Town or... The Royal City, that's the official sort of nickname, I suppose, right? There's the Guelph Concert Theatre. Yeah, John O'Meara. Guelph is close enough to Toronto that it gets a lot of Torontonians who move here, and they sort of add their big city flair to Guelph to try to make it more of a cool place for them to live in if they don't want to live in Toronto itself. That's been an ongoing thing here in Guelph for quite a long time. Former Torontonians sort of colonizing the place. And then they want cool restaurants and bars and places to go to because that's what they're used to in Toronto. So Guelph actually has quite a lot of that kind of stuff. Squelched in Guelph. Yeah, and I'd say it is fairly prosperous. It's definitely a healthy city. And it's rather progressive also. As I mentioned, being a university town, it has some very progressive policies here. Not just bikes, actually. In a recent video, talked about Guelph and how it is doing some interesting things here. And I believe it's also the only riding in the province of Ontario that elected a Green Party candidate. Maybe in all of Canada there's only one or two Green Party candidates. I think BC might have one. Steve Meeker, $2 again. Happy Easter, Ken. Thanks for all your hard work. Well, thank you, and very, very kind of you, Steve. I'll buy myself a chocolate egg. Hey, there's a fire escape. Found a fire escape. Yeah, and real estate and rents and whatnot are pretty pricey here in Guelph. Not as bad as downtown Toronto, of course, but it's not cheap either. Yeah, Tom Tim Tung, I was saying, I came here in the 90s with a friend of mine to hit up the nightlife. Where does the name Guelph come from? I think it's named after a guy. Some fella named something Guelph. Lord Wolfgard. There's a nice Italian grocery store. It has a lot of very sort of old-timey looking streetscapes here. Make you think of some 19th century English town or something of that sort. Let's check out this little footbridge here. A gooey elf. Gooey elf! Like, haha, I get it, I get it. There is a river here though. There's no major body of water, but there is a river.
Yeah. I think it's nice to have a view, but I think it's nice to
That's right, this is called the Speed River, although it doesn't flow very speedily. It has more the appearance of a lazy river from what I can see here. And it's very shallow also right here. River runs through it. We got some honking geese down there. No, it's not man-made as far as I know. It might have been a little bit course corrected perhaps, but I think it's a natural river. Christine, the population is around 118,000 in the city limits. A little bit more if you include some of the surrounding areas that are just outside of the city limits. I was mentioning earlier that Kitchener-Waterloo is not far at all. It's just a neighbor to Guelph. And that's a much larger urban area. I think it's warming up a little bit. Maddock, Ontario, really? That's interesting. Yeah, I think we got a mod in the house. I think this might be the tallest building in downtown Guelph here. There's the Guelph Transit bus. Yeah, the Sleeman Center. This is where the hockey team plays. They have an OHL team, Ontario Hockey League. And here's the River Run Center, which is the Performing Arts Center. Hey Elise, how you doing? Christopher Haydock. I'm pretty sure I'll make it out of Guelph in one piece. Unless I get attacked by these geese. John Galt Park. So there's a town nearby here, just south of Kitchener-Waterloo, called Galt, that was named after John Galt. And Galt is now part of Cambridge, but people still call the old Galt part of Cambridge Galt. So John Galt founded Guelph. (1827). Does it say anything about how Guelph got its name here? Became a city in 1879. I don't know, you know, maybe someone should look up why Guelph is called Guelph. Because there's another town that got the name Galt. So how did Guelph end up being called Guelph? Oh, did you tell me, Vivian? I missed it. I'm kind of missing some of the chats here. Hey, Dave Edmonds. Stayed in Guelph for 3 months in 2000. Oh, you almost had a tornado. Here's an old choo choo choo. Oh, okay. Thanks, Vivian. So his family name was Guelph. That's interesting. So I was sort of right when I said it was named after a guy. That's when it became a city though, right? It was founded earlier than that as a town. Toronto, for instance, was founded as a city in 1834, I believe. But it was founded as a town or a community in 1794, I think, as York, the town of York. Yeah, we're just passing by Guelph Central Station and the transit terminal here again. So we kind of made a big circle around downtown here. We haven't seen everything yet though. There's a downtown mall that I haven't shown yet. I think it's called Old Quebec Street. It's like an old streetscape that they covered up and turned it into a mall. I'm gonna make my way back in that direction. Yeah, I caught a glimpse of it earlier, but I didn't want to go in that direction at that time. Thanks, Christine. I've been sort of like geekily studying Canadian cities since I was a kid, so even before ever coming to Guelph, I kind of knew stuff about it already. So here's where Old Quebec Street . You can enter it on this side here. So I'm going to walk around to the other side. This is sort of like the back side of it. That's true, Dan, that's true. I'll see if I can take a peek inside the mall, if it's open. As Megan was saying, a lot of things are closed over the whole Easter weekend downtown. Yeah, there's the Pita Pit. So we've got a nice little lineup of tasty restaurants here. Got poutine, we got burritos, got shawarma, Korean fried chicken, and the Pita Pit. And here's a pub, McCabe's Irish Pub. There's that church where we're going to go meet up with Megan pretty soon. We got some Muzak. This Muzak is coming from somewhere. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Here's Wimpy's Diner. Well, it's definitely more than 2 blocks. I'd say the main street here, this one runs for about, I don't know, a good 7 or 8 blocks, and then the other main drag is about the same and running perpendicular to this one. There goes Sue. No, I am not an observant follower of any religion. Here's the main entrance to the old Quebec Street Mall. Let's see if I can take a peek. Thank you. It's actually kind of nice and warm in here. I can warm up my hands for a minute. So this is it. It's like a sort of an imitation old streetscape here. And it's kind of neat. It's not very big, obviously. It's no Eaton Center. But it's a nice little spot. There used to be a mall with an Eaton store, I believe, in downtown Guelph. But that is no longer. The old Eaton Center went bye-bye, as many of these smaller downtown malls in these cities did, like over the last 10 or 15 years. A lot of them closed down or became repurposed. The half Eaton Center, yeah. I'm not sure where the old Eaton store was, actually. Here we go, old Quebec Street. So it's nice. Here's some chocolates. Light snacks. A sock store. There we go. Our sock shop. Although I don't see socks in there. Oh, there's socks. Okay. There's lots of socks. Yeah, it's cute, right? World News Plus. Let's see if there's any Guelph postcards. I might have to buy one if I see one, actually. I want an aerial view of downtown Guelph. Here's one here, but that's not an aerial Guelph view. There's Toronto, Niagara Falls. I bet you they don't have one. That used to be pretty standard for a city to have an aerial view postcard. Even my hometown North Bay had one of those, and I have it as part of my collection. I have a pretty big collection of postcards. Most of them are from 20 years ago or more, and most of them are aerial views of various cities and towns. There was an aerial view of Toronto there at Eagle Spray. I didn't see one of Guelph though. Good to know there are lots of socks for sale. That's right. All your socks needs can be met in downtown Guelph. I do have boring socks right now. I admit it. I freely admit it. Yeah, it has a nice feel, you know. It has a very homey sort of comfortable feel, I suppose. Used to go to Tony's to play pool. Yeah, it's a bit like Providence, although Providence is a much bigger city than Guelph though, right? But I see what you're saying. I've seen some videos of Providence. Action Kid went there, walked around Providence, and there's some neighborhoods that sort of had a similar look. You could say this is sort of like Southwestern Ontario's counterpart to Kingston. Kingston is a city in Eastern Ontario that is a small historic city with a university, Queen's University, with lots of limestone buildings and a fairly active, vibrant downtown area. And Guelph is sort of a similar city to Kingston, just on the other side of the Greater Toronto area. Guelph, of course, is a lot closer to Toronto than Kingston is, and has GO service and lots of commuters and all that sort of thing, which Kingston doesn't have. Kingston is much more of its own thing, being further away. Sanjay, yes, that's right. Sanjay is in Kingston. And they're similar size. Kingston is a little bit bigger than Guelph, but not much. They're very, very similar. And here's some Fleetwood Mac. Funny how this song became a hit again thanks to a TikTok video. Jimmy Jazz, this is a well-known place. I think that's been in downtown Guelph here for decades. It's one of the popular bars in the city with live music. Mia Mama. Instead of a Mamma Mia, it's a Mia Mama. Robert Grazanio, $10. Wow, thank you very much, Robert, for the kind super chat. I appreciate it very, very much. I hope you're enjoying the live walk around Guelph. Beautiful downtown Guelph, Ontario. There's a neat place across the street. There's a rooftop patio. Here's a bong store for all your bong needs. Himalayan grocers. See, that's pretty interesting. Royal Cat Records. There's a cool record shop there. That's the one you were referring to earlier, right, Scott Briggs? Thank you, Robert. Same to you. Michael Stern, yeah, it is. I would definitely say it is. I think it's one of the more sought-after small cities in Ontario in terms of popularity, people wanting to move here. Alright, so now I'm going to head up here to the big church on the hill. And this is where Meghan is going to meet up with me. Basilica of Our Lady Immaculate. It's a pretty big mouthful of a name. Hey, 12, alright. We're actually just about to meet up with Meghan 12. I'm going to meet up with her right here at the big church, the Basilica of Our Lady Immaculate. $12. How could one argue with that? All right, now here's lots of stairs. Guess it doesn't matter which way I go. There's stairs either way. Let's go this way. Actually, let's go the other way. See, I just changed it there at the last second. What sort of hijinks are going on over here? Oh, did I miss a super chat? Whoa, Dave Edmonds, 4,000 Philippine pesos. Wowee, holy cow. I think they're now called the Tri-City area, Kitchener, Guelph, and Cambridge. Yes, you're right, Dave. Spent a fair amount of time in all three cities. Still have siblings living in the area. Love small town Ontario. Here's something for me and Meghan. Have a nice dinner. Wow. Thank you very, very much for the incredibly generous super chat, Dave. Yes, the Tri-City area is growing to be quite a pretty major metro area. I think upwards of 600,000 people now live in Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge altogether. And it's also one of the fastest growing metro areas in Canada now. And of course it's also known as one of the main technology centers in the country. And the University of Waterloo is probably the best known tech-oriented university. And Guelph is a neighbor to the Tri-Cities, but it's not included yet. There's still space between Guelph and Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge. They haven't grown together. So I don't know if it'll ever become the Quad Cities sometime in the future. It's possible. Guelph is sort of on its own still for now, doing its own thing. Look who I found. Well, well, well. Fancy meeting you here. Yeah. How you doing? It was alright. Yeah. It was a ride.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
I was watching you when I was in the Uber on the way here.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, like find exactly where he is. So yeah, welcome to Guelph, everybody.
Yeah, we did the little tour of downtown.
Oh, sweet. Where else did you go?
I just sort of did a circle all around downtown and then crisscrossed down the two main drags there. And I went inside the mall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the mall.
The mall, yeah, the fake street mall.
Heavy
Yeah.
quotation marks,
Yeah. Like, that wasn't a real street that they covered up, was it?
It was.
Because the buildings look fake now.
Well, okay, the buildings are fake.
Okay,
but
the
it
buildings
used
are
to
fake?
be like a real...
Okay, because Quebec Street was a street that they covered up.
Yeah.
But those
It actually-
buildings are fake.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It actually used to be the Eaton Center, and then
Right.
I think in like '97 it became the old Quebec Street Mall.
Right, okay, because I was trying to remember, like, where the Eaton store even used to be, you
Yeah.
know, like, because I know the Eaton Center was a mall downtown, and then that's no longer the case.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
full on it was right there.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So are you
Wow,
ready?
so everyone's saying hello, hello. Yeah, so lead me to, let's check out the view here.
Yeah, let's check
Yeah,
out the view.
so just stand right there and we'll get a nice shot of you with downtown Guelph. There we go. Meghan and her town.
Hometown.
Although she kind of rejects it now, but it's,
I mean, it is what it is.
she still grew up here. She has some Guelph running through her veins, whether she wants to or not.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You just, have come to accept that. You just
Yeah.
can't make it be something that it's not. It
Right.
just is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to make our way down to Meghan's neighborhood.
Yes.
Yes. Which is not downtown, which
No.
is sort of out in the burbs.
I think it was a couple weeks ago I went out for dinner with my friend Emily, and I was like in the Uber. We went out like down in Suburban because there's this new Korean place that opened up. So then I took an Uber back, and the Uber driver on the way back was like, "Oh man, you live like way out in the boonies," and I'm like, "You're from Guelph, and you think where I live is in the boonies?
Right.
This is so sad."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's just cut across the parking lot. We'll go that way.
Okay.
And then I think maybe a good route is we'll walk down Paisley, and then we'll take a detour and kind of, well, not really a detour, but we'll go, I have to stop at Shoppers and pick up a parcel.
Okay.
So we'll just do a detour past that way, and I'll pop and get my thing.
All right.
And then we'll walk across.
Was this a rectory or something? Like this?
It used to be.
Used to
I think it used to be where the nuns live.
Oh, okay.
There's like a newer building on the other side.
Okay.
So, and then there's that one there too. No, that's the Civic Museum.
Right.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't
So here's another look at this awesome church here.
Yeah, it is really spectacular.
Yeah.
It was modeled a little bit after Notre Dame. A little bit.
Yeah, you can tell, yeah.
Yeah.
Alan K. Kwan says, "Hi, Meghan."
Hi, Alan. How goes it?
Yes, we're going to Meghan's hood.
Yes, we are.
The hood.
We're going to walk by my high school and everything.
Whoa. Which one is it again that you went to?
CBI.
That's where Tom Tim Tung.
Oh, no way. What year did you graduate? So you know Greasy GC, Tom. Good times. Greasy GC. That's what they called us.
Greasy GC, wow.
Yeah. And then Centennial was preppy people high because they were the only high school in the city that had a cheerleading team.
Oh, okay.
And I was so jealous because I wanted to be on a cheerleading team, but my high school didn't have one.
Sports weren't a big deal, I guess, at your
Not in my school.
No.
We were like a big music school. We had lots of bands and choirs and stuff,
Right.
which I was in all of them. But then I wanted to do, but like Centennial had like a dance team and a cheerleading squad, and like that's what I wanted to do. So I was really mad that we didn't have one. And also my best friend in high school went to Centennial, so
Right.
I tried to switch schools like 5 times, but my parents wouldn't let me.
Oh, okay.
What can you do?
Nothing. Yeah. Scott Briggs says, "This ain't the boonies, what the heck?"
Well, this isn't, but
Yeah, we're still in
we'll get there, Scott. Don't you worry.
we're still in the heart of Guelph here, so
You'll
yeah.
see some boonies before the stream is up. Don't you worry. I love these old houses in this neighborhood.
Yeah, this is a massive one.
Yeah.
Although this is two residences here. Yeah.
Smushed together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these old houses. If I was to ever like remain in Guelph, I would want to live in one of these houses. But why live here when you can buy a house in Toronto? They probably cost about the same. So.
All right. All right. Tom Tim Tung. All right. Thanks for dropping by.
Bye, Tom.
Glad you got to watch me walk around the place where you used to live.
Yeah.
Where Megan went to the same high school.
Yeah. Tell me. Drop a comment. Tell us what year you graduated. I want to know.
Yeah. Megan wants to know what year you finished high school. Tom Tim Tung. Yeah, look at these nice old.
Yeah, these are such nice houses.
Yeah.
These are lovely. Look at all the flowers coming up. That's so nice to see. And the daffodils.
Daffodil.
Daffodils.
Yeah, I shot a video on the GO train, or GO bus, I should say, from downtown all the way to Brampton. And then I shot another video as we were just coming into Guelph. So it's like
cool.
a drive into Guelph.
Oh, that's cool.
And I got the seat on the upper deck of the bus, right at the very front.
Nice.
So
That's an
I'm looking
awesome
directly out onto the
Nice.
highway.
It's a lucky break that you got a double decker too.
Yeah, I was like third person in line, so I was like, I'm gonna snag that seat.
Yeah.
Man.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Sometimes they don't do the double deckers on this run, so
Right.
it's cool that you got one.
Yeah.
Alright, let's just cross the street here.
Okay.
It's weird that there's like actually traffic. Normally there's like no cars.
Yeah. Yeah, downtown there was sort of some places open, some places closed, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most places are.
Yeah, it was definitely quiet, that's for sure. Wasn't a lot of activity. The mall was open, but there was hardly anybody in it. Yeah.
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 I mean, that's not because it's a long weekend. There's hardly anyone in that mall anyway.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty quiet most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, London, Ontario has a lot of old houses with yellow brick, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's one thing I noticed about London, all the yellow brick.
I've only been to London like twice. So, and then I was like, didn't really get around much. I was mostly just downtown. So.
Right.
Something smells really good.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
I'm so excited for dinner. Oh my gosh.
I'm excited for mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you should be. They're delicious.
Megan made me a giant heaping mountain of mashed potatoes.
It's 5 pounds of potatoes.
I can basically reenact that scene from Close Encounters where he tries to build the mountain out of mashed potatoes.
Yeah. No, it's like full on like it was like 5 pounds of potatoes. And
Right.
when I went shopping for all the stuff last week, my Oma was like, "Why are you getting potatoes? We have potatoes here. Just use the ones we have. Use them up." And I was like, "No, but like the recipe calls for 5 pounds of potatoes." And she like stopped dead in her tracks in the kitchen. And like turns around and looks at me and she's like, five pounds?
Right.
And I was like, yeah. And she's like, did you say 5 pounds? And I was like, yeah, that's what the recipe calls for. And then she just started laughing. And I was like, what's so funny? She's like, you need a recipe for mashed potatoes? And I was like, yeah, well, I don't want to mess it up. And then she just like starts laughing and like walks out of the kitchen. She's like, I would never need a recipe for mashed potatoes. I was like, you've been cooking for 7 years.
Right.
Give me that long and I won't need a recipe either. It was just funny. Yeah, so I bought like a huge bag of mashed potatoes and just made them up.
Awesome.
And I got my parents came over last night and brought fish and chips for dinner.
Okay.
So I was like, can you take the mashed potatoes back with you because I don't want to carry them tomorrow. So
Right.
they're at my parents' house this
Scott Briggs, I think I can build a life-size Devil's Tower out of the mashed potatoes.
week. You could.
Yeah.
You could. You might have to fight my dad for them though, because he tried a bit last night and was like, oh, these are so good, I love mashed potatoes, and your mom never makes mashed potatoes, I'm gonna have some.
Right.
Alright.
Alright, Joseph, thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a great
Bye, Joseph. Happy Easter
weekend.
/ long weekend / whatever you
Passover,
celebrate.
whatever, yep. It's all happening this weekend,
That's
apparently.
right.
Yep.
Even if it's just a celebration of, you know, a long weekend,
Yep.
hope you have a good one.
Yep.
So we're coming up on the place where I used to go to high school.
Megan's old high school.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
For like most of my early and mid 20s, I periodically would have dreams that I got a letter from my high school saying I hadn't graduated yet and there had been some mistake, and then I had to go back and finish up a couple courses, and I would wake up in the middle of the night in like a cold sweat. I'm like, oh thank God.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I graduated university 2 years ago. I'm fine.
Right.
I'm fine. Like, oh God, no.
Yeah, those dreams suck. I have those
Ugh.
back in school dreams
They're
sometimes.
the worst.
And usually I have to like write some test that I didn't study for or something
Ugh,
like that,
those
you
are
know?
the worst.
It's like, what? There's a test? I didn't know. Like, what?
Because high school is traumatizing. Just no, it is. It's like low key. I remember my first year of high school, we had some motivational speaker come in, and I was like in grade 9, and it was also like October or November of grade 9, and so it was all just like very fresh, and I'd been feeling like I can't believe I have to be here for 4 years. Like it feels like forever. Yeah, there she is. And then this motivational speaker comes in, and he's like, these are the best 4 years of your life. Like, have fun these 4 years, because it's not going to get any better than this. And my friends and I just looked at each other and we were like, these are the best four. What? How much worse does it get?
Here's Megan's old high school.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah, so there's two parts of the school. This is the old building, and then that's the new building, and there's like a glass like walkway that separates them.
Cool.
So this building has been around since like 1854.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Christopher.
bye, Christopher.
No, you were just saying something nice. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going. Well, thank you for staying, Christopher, and for saying something nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that archway is new since I haven't been here, and also that statue is new,
Okay.
as are
Yeah.
those benches. I'm just gonna spit out my gum in the garbage receptacle.
It's Meganville, that's right. We're in Meganville.
What?
Meganville,
Yes.
that's where we are. Yeah. Who's that? That looks like,
I don't know, but he looks way too happy to be there.
yeah, looks like a character from a Huckleberry Finn novel or something. I don't know. Who is it?
I don't know. Some guy who's like, I reach out to the world. This is the new building. So that very top window up there on the side,
Yeah.
that's a stairwell, and my friends and I used to
Okay. Hey, Ali BHG, welcome, welcome. We're at Megan's old high school.
yeah. It's exactly the same. There's a Japanese garden on the inside. There's like a courtyard between the two,
Okay.
the old building and the new building, and that's Jock Hall. Because all the jocks had their lockers there.
Right. Yeah, my high school had certain corridors that were popular with certain groups of kids. Yep.
Yeah. And everyone kind of like hangs out near.
Yep.
space.
The V corridor was where the preppies hung out. Yep.
The V corridor.
Yeah.
I like that you had preppies.
Oh yeah, of course. It was the 1980s, you know. We had all the iconic 1980s groups, you know. The preppies, the stoners, you know,
The jocks.
the jocks, yep.
The geeks, the band kids,
Yeah.
the AV kids.
Yeah. Hey, DJ Ian. How you doing?
Hello, DJ Ian.
So, anyone new to the stream? We're in Guelph. That's right.
Yes, we are not in Toronto. We are in Guelph.
Yep.
Ken has continued all the way here.
Yep. That's right.
So this used to be a convenience store, and I guess it's like a house now. But
Okay.
and the convenience store sold like everything. And because it was right across the street from the high school, we used to come here on our lunch break all the time and buy like candy and snacks and stuff. And we always used to say like, how genius is it to open up a convenience store right across the street from
Well,
the high
yeah.
school?
Were they not making good business?
I'm
like,
sure they were.
how would they? Why would they close?
I'm sure they were cleaning up.
Yeah.
But it was very funny that like, I mean, and they only closed like recently.
Huh.
So, I don't know, maybe they were tired. They made their like millions of dollars from hungry high school kids.
Maybe, yeah. They had enough of the, you know, the annoying youngsters.
Yeah.
I sound like an old man, right? Those annoying youngsters. Coming in here buying their bubble gum and their popsicles.
I used to buy like, there were these little like Hostess cakes, not Twinkies, but like, it was like a vanilla cake with vanilla cream, but it was covered in chocolate on the outside.
Yeah.
They were so good, and we used to buy them all the time.
Huh. Hey, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle.
Young whippersnappers, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the best word for
Well,
young
that they
people.
are.
In my day, we didn't have no Xbox.
Is that your old man voice?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that house is going for. $300 million.
300, yeah. Why are we going to Paisley?
Why are we going to Paisley?
That's what someone, Eagles Prey is asking.
Oh, we're on Paisley right now.
We're
That's
on
the name of the
Paisley?
street.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're walking towards Megan's neighborhood, taking the street.
Yeah.
Because she lives kind of out in the suburban part of Guelph.
So there's no Zoom in that. Yeah, and this train track, as far as I know, is still operational, but not once in my entire, like, 12, 13 years that I've lived in Guelph have I ever seen a train moving on this track.
Huh. And yeah, there's obviously train activity because all
Yeah,
those
like
trains are over there.
And, like, it's still working. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen the lights flashing and stuff before. I've just
Right.
never actually seen a train
Just
actually
never-
going this way.
Happen to catch it.
That's right. Very weird.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle Gray. Did I already say hello to Michelle Gray? I think I
Hello,
did.
Michelle.
Hello again, Michelle Gray.
There's the ever-elusive sight of a Guelph transit bus.
Yep. I started the stream right at the transit terminal, so
Oh, yeah. So you saw lots of them.
yeah.
That's about the only place you see them. You never see them when you're, like, waiting for the bus.
Right.
But then every time you don't need a bus, that's
How old are these houses? I'd say these ones look like they're pushing 100. Yeah.
Guelph isn't old
Yeah, I was just talking about earlier. We looked at a plaque about the founding of Guelph and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
John
founded
Galt or whatever.
after Toronto, but it is an old town now. Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, well, I guess Toronto was what, like 1793?
Yeah, Guelph was 1827 or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But like there were settlers in this area in
Right.
the 1790s, like long before that. This was if you go just a little farther west of here, this was I think it was Algonquin or Huron territory. So there was like a trade route and like settlements all along here.
Yeah. I guess we should say it's old by Canadian standards.
Yes.
Mostly Ontario standards, really,
Yes.
because Quebec and the Maritimes are much older
Much
places.
older.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to Quebec City in grade 8. We had like a grade 8 grad trip there. And we ate at this restaurant. That's the oldest restaurant in North America. And it's been around since the 1690s.
Wow. Yeah.
And we got to eat there. It was pretty cool.
Huh.
I don't remember the food. I just remember being like awed by the history.
Yeah.
That also sounds good.
Oh, Michelle Briggs has to go get some chocolates from Costco.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good day because they're all going to go on sale now.
Yeah. So that's that's the motivation, I'm sure.
That's right.
Hey, maybe if you go into Shoppers Drug Mart, you'll see some chocolates on sale there.
Oh, well, if I do, I'll pick some up. Look at this old tree.
Yeah, that's right. The grass is finally turning green. Eh?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That is a good sight to see.
I think last time I specifically noticed grass, it was still kind of yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I love that day in the springtime where, like, all of a sudden, like, you've been seeing buds on the trees for, like, weeks, then all of a sudden you wake up one day and there's, like, leaves everywhere, and then you're like, wait a second, when did all the leaves come out? This is awesome.
Right.
I love
Cadbury eggs. You know what, Scott
Yes.
Briggs? I was talking about those
Cadbury
with
cream
Meghan
eggs.
just the other day because, man, they don't make them like they used to. Remember, they used to be a lot bigger? And they've just shrunk them over the years, and I miss the big ones. Like, they were the size of an actual good size egg, like a
Yeah.
real chicken egg, like a large one even, and now they're so puny, it's just not the same.
There's been a lot of articles in the last few years about how bad they are for you.
Yeah.
So I think they probably have, like,
Oh yeah, they're packed with
yeah.
tons of calories, that's for sure.
It was like, I think the one I read said they had like, each egg had 150 calories
Right,
and like
yeah.
almost 200% of your daily recommended sugar intake.
Right.
Like, I believe it. But man, those things are
But
good.
I was big fan, yeah.
And if you only eat them once a year, then like,
Yeah, it's not like having them every day,
That's
you
right.
know? Jeez.
just like once a year. See, look, buds coming up.
Oh yeah.
Signs of
Yeah.
spring.
Who remembers that Cadbury Easter egg commercial with the bunny rabbit just sitting there going buck, 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 buck.
Did you see Jimmy Kimmel the other day did a thing where he went out on the streets of LA and asked a bunch of kids where the Easter Bunny comes from, and they were all so confused, and the answers they gave were so funny.
No.
They were like, because everyone knows Santa and like the whole story there.
Yeah.
And then he asked one kid, he was like, how does the Easter Bunny get to every single house in just one day? And then the kid was like so confused, like he had genuinely never thought of this before. And then he thinks for a minute, and then he looks at Jimmy Kimmel and he's like, he hitches a ride with the Tooth Fairy.
Oh jeez.
Like, alright, okay. I'll accept that.
It's feeling a little bit warmer now. When I first
Yeah.
started the stream, I was like, geez, it's cold, you know? Like
Well, you're also wearing
the
a hoodie.
wind was chilly, everything was quite chilly. I got like another shirt here though, and another one underneath there, so
Oh god, okay. So
yeah.
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 I'm Michelle Gray, $10 super chat. Well, thank you very, very much, Michelle.
It's really nice of you.
Yes, it's very, very kind. Hope you're enjoying the sights and sounds of the G spot. Is that what they call it? The
Yeah.
G spot? Yeah.
The G spot. Toronto is the T dot and Guelph
Right.
is the G spot.
That's right. From the T dot to the G spot.
That's right. There's some dirty geography for you. Yes, now we have a big Catholic church coming up.
Oh, yeah?
St. Joseph.
Is this a school over here?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's French school.
Okay. Farhana Hossein, $13.99. Great to see you both enjoying the Easter weekend together.
Wow, thank you.
Enjoying the walk. Hope you make more visits to Guelph. Have a great day. Thank you very, very much for the super chat.
That was really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you might want to check out my video from October of 2020 where I did a tour of downtown Guelph with Meghan,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and she showed me all the interesting spots in downtown Guelph. Yeah. Remember you had red hair, remember?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think I had just dyed it purple.
Or
and then
purple?
It was fading.
Right.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
fading to a red color.
I guess I meant purple, but yeah.
Yeah.
What does the 4,000 mean? That was a super chat from Dave Edmonds. That's in Philippines pesos. It's a very, very generous super chat.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the roughly of that. Of that church. This is
Okay.
where the priest lives.
Yeah. Are you cold?
I'm actually okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I layered up. I wore like a really warm wool sweater.
Yeah.
And then I actually had like a blazer on over top of my sweater, and then the jacket on at the top. And then I thought, no, because we're going to be walking and I'll probably get like too warm. So then I took the blazer off.
Yeah.
And I'm actually fine like this.
Yeah, I'm fine now. I'm not cold anymore.
That's good. Yeah.
But I'm glad I brought my gloves because my hand would have gotten cold. Oh, for sure, yeah.
I read that like sometimes people who get exercise hives, it's like worse when you're hot. Like the internal body heat is what triggers it. So I thought maybe if I like don't bundle up as much,
Right.
keep myself a little cooler. So we're trying this out. See how that works.
Later, Scott Briggs. I'll see you next time.
See you later, Scott Briggs. Enjoy your weekend. And it's still Saturday, so there is a lot of weekend left to enjoy.
That's right, yeah. Things are gradually starting to look a little more suburbanish, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we cross the Hamlin, then we'll be
The houses
really
are,
in the boonies.
these are more like 1950s era houses here.
Yeah, notice how like it gets more and more recent in time.
Yeah.
It's like taking a trip forward in time.
Yeah, maybe 1940s, I don't know, maybe even 1930s. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. Yeah.
My mama's old house in Toronto, where my mom grew up, that house was built in the 30s, and it looked very much like.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
And it was probably 1930s, pre-war.
What's the temp? I think it might be around 7 or 8 degrees.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cool wind,
Yeah.
but the sun is pretty blue, so it's not actually that uncomfortable at all.
In Toronto, it's supposed to get up to 10 today,
Oh, nice.
but I'm not sure about here.
Damn, that urban heat sink. I miss
Toronto
that.
sometimes gets an extra degree or two over some other surrounding places.
Yeah, all that pollution, I miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I have to go into the city just to get some fresh air. So at those lights up there, we're gonna hang right, and then we're gonna walk all the way to Imperial Road.
Okay.
And that's where the Shoppers is. So
Okay.
it's right at, I think this is Silver Creek. So we're gonna stop at that Shoppers. I'll run in, pick up my package, and then we'll head down Imperial. And that will take us basically all the way to my house.
Okay. All right. Bye, Michelle Gray. And
Bye, Michelle.
Thanks again for the super chat.
Enjoy your weekend.
Yes. A great one.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a cute house.
It is a really cute house, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the little Easter
Yeah.
wreath that they've got on the door there.
All these houses are kind of the same, really. But yeah.
Yeah, I think this kind of looks like the first
Like
iteration of suburbia.
an early subdivision, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like one developer came in. A new community,
That's right.
you know, on the outskirts of Guelph in 1930.
But also, like, okay, notice this house, right?
Yeah.
Like, notice how small this house is compared to, like, the houses in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
This in, like, the 1930s and 40s was, like, a single-family home where you'd raise your kid.
Right.
A house that big.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And, like, that would never fly in today's world. People want the giant palatial homes.
Oh, I know, yeah. Yeah.
But, like, something like this was accessible, and you could afford that on, like, a factory worker's salary.
Right.
So it's like, what's wrong with having not as much space, you know? It's crazy. And, like, the closets, because, like, yeah, like I was saying, my Oma used to have a house like this, and that's where she raised, like, 3 kids. And the closets in my Oma's house, they would open up, and the hangers would face, like, the hooks would face out this way. So you have to hang your clothes facing out, like, not side by side like we do now. Oh, look at the buds.
Oh, yeah.
So you could only have as many clothes as would fit, like, packed in the closet this way. So that's, like, crazy to me because I have a lot of clothes, but people just, like, didn't have that much stuff. This looks more 1960s.
Yeah, we've transitioned here. Some more later, early suburbia now.
You know what? This is kind of neat because I never really realized this about Guelph before, that when you go from downtown to my neighborhood, or vice versa, it really is like taking a trip through time.
Yeah, like it's like the rings on a tree stump are like the different when you dig through the earth, you know, the difference.
Yeah, totally. And you see them. And you know what? I've never noticed that before or appreciated it. So thank you for giving me something new to appreciate about Guelph.
I mean, you can see the same thing in Toronto too, as you make your way north from downtown.
Yeah, totally, for sure.
Yeah.
But I've just never noticed it here.
It just takes a lot longer to get from one stage to the next in Toronto.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just more like build up to work with, but
Yeah.
it's like really noticeable here, and I never noticed it before.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool seeing it through your eyes like that. Yeah, because this is looking very 1960s, 1970s. And then, like, by the time you hit my parents' neighborhood, like, those houses were all built in the 90s. And then by the time you hit my Oma's neighborhood, those were all built in the 2010s. So, it's getting more money. Okay, we'll pass here. Alright, is this getting boonies enough for you guys yet?
Goonie-esque, getting there.
Getting there. Alright.
Hey, JD Fisher.
Hello, JD Fisher. How is your weekend shaping up?
Now, this reminds me of walking along Shepherd Avenue
Yes.
in my last live stream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one stretch between Yonge and Bathurst, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's never is. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's gonna get very boring from now on, so I'm sorry about that. But it's just gonna be a lot of like stuff like this.
Good to hear, JD. And thanks, Robert. Glad you enjoyed that.
What's going on, JD? What's good to hear?
Oh, he liked one of my recent videos.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Now there's some news to share with the class.
A surreal walk. Yeah, that's what kind of felt surreal, Alan, when I was
Like on Shepherd?
on Shepherd. Yeah.
Yeah, those are very good.
Hey, high fiver. How you doing?
High five. That's an awesome.
You were on Willow Street yesterday. Wow.
Oh, no way. That's, my parents live off of Willow Road.
And JD Fisher says, "How are you, Meghan?"
I'm doing well, JD Fisher. How are you doing?
Hey, Maroof. Happy long weekend to you. These look like 1980s
Yeah. Yeah.
snout houses, as I call them.
Snout. Oh, because they have the little, like,
They have the shutting garage, you know?
yeah.
Although those ones are attached, but a real snout house would just be a single detached house with a big garage that sticks out in the front, you know? Yeah.
Like all the houses in my neighborhood, my
Right.
mom's neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah. The snout house. That's funny. Yeah, so now we're in the land of the cars.
Yep.
Where cars roost.
Mouthful of exhaust.
Seriously.
Jeez.
God, that probably took 3 years off my life.
That's right. We are in Suburban Guelph.
Oh yeah. We have arrived.
Although this is some nice residential density here with these mid-rise apartment buildings. Yeah. And I was saying earlier that there are actually quite a lot of high-rise apartment buildings scattered around Guelph, you know, like they're just not all downtown, they're sort of just scattered around the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bylaw in Guelph that you can't build houses taller than the Church of Our Lady or any building.
Right.
Like the church has to be the tallest building in the city. So Guelph will never have high rises.
Well, there was one building I pointed out downtown that looked like it was around 19 stories. I think that's the tallest building in downtown Guelph, right?
Yeah, it was one of the newer condos, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It might be like just as tall as the church, but it can't go past that height.
Yeah. Hey, Shirt Chick, how you doing? We're in Guelph. Isn't that where you live?
You live in Guelph, really?
I thought Shirt Chick lives in Guelph.
Oh. What part of Guelph?
Buildings,
When do you think those were built?
the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the 80s. Could be either. Yeah. Yeah. Finally, the wind
Yeah, that wind was a little chilly.
was just constant. back. It was gone, but then it came back.
Yeah, Guelph has its wind tunnels too, that's for sure.
Yeah, you live in Guelph, that's right, Schnurr Chick, that's what I remember.
What part of Guelph?
What part of Guelph do you live in?
That car has gold rims.
Oh yeah. Bling bling.
That's it.
Shopping cart, anyone? A winner's shopping cart up for grabs.
I never understood that. Like, why do people take shopping carts?
Hey, Noble Cost. Yeah, I was just saying this reminds me of my long trek down Shepherd Avenue in North York in my last live stream. He said it looks like North York. At least this street does, anyway. Yeah. Hey, Brian. Nice outfit, Megan.
Thank you. Kind of bundled up a little.
Oh, there's the shoppers.
There's the shoppers. And a pop in there. So this probably marks about the halfway point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
So this is about halfway.
Hey, Bobby Hall says, hello, Megan.
Hello, Bobby Hall.
And me too. Well, thank you very much, Bobby Hall.
And I guess Ken too. Hi.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
You got the caps, see? I just got the lowercase.
Aw, I'm honored, Bobby Hall.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be greeted in caps lock. Alright, so I'm gonna pop in there really quick. I just have to go get my
Okay.
package. Do you need anything from Shoppers?
No, I don't think so. I'm good. Yeah.
Yoki.
Where is Megan's outfit from?
Oh boy. Thrifted bag, Value Village, coat from Zara, sweater from Zara, shoes from Zara, pants from Forever 21.
There you go. And my outfit is from my sister. My sister shopping for her brother.
I've never heard of that store.
Right?
They have good stuff there.
Alan K. Kwan to get some Cadbury eggs, $5. Thank you very much. Actually, if you see any,
I absolutely will pick up some.
if you see one, even if they're the little ones, as long as it's the actual cream egg. Yeah.
The classic. You
Yeah.
got it. If I
All
see
right.
one, I will pick one up.
All right, Alan K. Kwan. Megan's gonna keep an eye out in there for some Easter cream eggs.
See what I can
Thank you
find.
very much for the super chat.
All right, I will be right back.
Okay. Maybe I can just stand inside this entranceway and warm up a little. Yeah. Or maybe not. Okay, there. Alright, just gonna let my hands warm up a bit here while Megan is inside the store. I'm not wearing my sister's outfits, no. Hey, Bevy's here. Hey, Bevy, how you doing? Thank you very much, Bevy, and same to you. I was just meaning that most of my new clothes are the result of my sister buying things for me to wear instead of me actually shopping for my own clothes. which I never seem to do. Because I don't really need to, because by the time I get around to even thinking about buying new clothes, my sister has already done it. A silly lobby. Yeah, kind of, right? You have to go in that way and come out this way. And no, they are not open to each other. There's a barrier between the two. She is a very nice sister, yes. Actually, the hoodie I'm wearing right now is from the NBC store in New York. It's a hoodie that says Greendale College on it, from the TV show Community. Anyone remember that show? Because my sister's husband is a TV executive, and he gets to do lots of cool TV show related things and go to lots of places where he has access to things that TV executives have access to. So I got this hoodie from the NBC shop. Yeah, Community was awesome. 6 seasons in a movie, so we got the 6. Did we get 6 seasons? Maybe? Because that last season was on Yahoo, right? But where's the movie? We're still waiting for the Community movie. Have I watched The Office? Yes, of course. I've watched that several times over. I even watched the British Office just to see if it was as good as everyone was saying. It's good, but I watched the American version first, so I kind of prefer that over the British version. Maybe if I watched the British version first, I would think that was the better one. Bevy, I also have a mug that says that on it. A mug that says Troy and Abbott in the morning. Is there snow flurries in Muskoka? Wow. You've never watched The Office, no more costs. Check it out. I think it's still on Netflix. Steve Carell in his first major role. It's kind of crazy to think that it's been, what now, 17 years since The Office first aired on NBC, the first season. That's kind of crazy to think. Hey, Prince Stubbs. That's what she said. He popularized that joke.
Thank you.
That was nice of her. See, once you come in this door, you can't go back out again. It's like you have no choice but to walk through the whole store and then come back out this side to exit. High fiver, yeah, I think we're at Willow Street or nearby. Watching Morbius. Didn't I get terrible reviews though? I might watch it anyway, just to see for myself. I don't always go by what the reviews say. I've enjoyed many of the movie that got terrible reviews. Maybe I didn't think they were fantastic, but I thought they were okay. Enough to kill an hour and a half or 2 hours. Guelph has an old station. It's fair sized, but I never got to look inside of it. Maybe I'll try and do that sometime. It looks like a nice old station from the outside, though. It's just your typical small Ontario city downtown train station. I watched it.
You can't be recording anyone in here.
I'm not recording.
Okay, so what are you doing then?
I'm live streaming. Yeah.
Okay, so you can't be doing either.
No? Oh, all right.
Filming people without their consent.
Okay, well, you don't need consent to be recorded in public, though.
Well, I think
you know.
most people would want to give consent to
Okay.
private property, so they have to ask.
All right. Okay. And I got Karen'd.
What are you filming? Just wondering.
I'm live streaming Guelph with my
Oh, I
girlfriend. Yeah, we're just touring around
Oh, I
Guelph.
see. I see.
Yeah, she just went in to grab something here at the store. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Well, I was kind of waiting for somebody. It's not like I was just standing there for no apparent reason, right? You let me down, Guelph. You let me down. So many people think that it's against the law to record people without their consent.
Yeah.
I got kicked out.
Got kicked out?
Yeah.
If you're on camera?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish the public doesn't know what's inside a Shoppers Drug Mart.
I got Karen'd. Yeah.
Seriously, was the lady complaining?
I guess somebody complained because one of the employees came and told me I couldn't stand inside there with my phone. Yeah.
Giant sticks up their butts.
Yeah. Guelph, let me down, man. Let me down, Guelph. I thought you were cool, Guelph.
When did you think anyways, I promised I wouldn't be judgmental. I'm trying to not be judgmental. But hey, my silver thread came in. I'm so happy. I'm
Good
doing
stuff.
I'm gonna do a ball gown from the Regency era, so like early 1800s, Bridgerton era for people who watch Bridgerton.
Right.
And I'm embroidering the front with like silver plate embroidery, and the thread that I ordered is actually like plated with sterling silver, and that's what they actually used back then. So I'm excited to work with it. You want a piece of them?
No thanks.
But I had to order it from India because you can't find silver plate anywhere else. And I was worried that it was going to be like prohibitively expensive, so I was looking at alternatives. But then I found this shop in India on Etsy, and they sold this embroidery thread for like $8 a spool, and it's silver plate, and each spool is like 500 yards. So I ordered 2 of them, and I'm really excited. So we'll see how this goes.
Cool.
But I'm embroidering it on like a white sheer cotton, and then the overgown is going to be like a silver silk taffeta. So it should be very, very interesting.
Hey, David. Kibera Paz, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
What?
Just his name. Wasn't sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Oh.
Yeah.
That smells good too. I'm smelling right now.
Don't all stores have secure? Yes, they do, Noble Cops. So everybody walking around in that Shoppers is being recorded without their consent.
Yep.
But if they're doing it, it's okay. If I'm doing it, apparently it's not okay.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
All right. So are you guys ready to enter hardcore suburbia?
Hardcore suburbia.
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Here it comes.
We're entering hardcore suburbia now. Guelph style.
We're about to cross the Hanlon and into suburban wasteland. Are you ready?
Oh, boy.
Ready for this?
Yep.
All right. Now, crossing the Hanlon is also always a mission because the crosswalk almost never lets pedestrians go. Because obviously this is like our territory. So trying to get across this highway
Right?
I've been binge watching Sex and the City, the OG Sex and the City,
Right.
and I'm already on season, like halfway through season 5.
Oh,
There's only 6
jeez.
seasons. Like, I forgot how much I love that show.
So you're already past the Aiden phase, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Carrie should have ended up with Aiden. I'm still mad about that. Aiden would have been good for her. I was Team Aiden all the way. Oh, look, the light change.
Here we go.
This is our lucky day.
Person wants to run us over.
Nope, they're gonna wait.
You're like, fuck that shit.
You will stop your
Yeah.
car, sir.
Yes, high fiver. How close are we to 2 hours here? Oh yeah, we're almost at 2 hours already. Wow.
Well, we got another like half hour to go. Do you think you can make it?
Maybe. I don't know if my phone will make it though.
You brought a charger, right?
Yeah, I'm at 24%.
Okay.
I'm just not sure how much data I have left, high-speed data.
Gotcha.
I thought I had enough left for just around 2 hours, 2 hours and a quarter maybe.
Well, you got a notification when your data's
I should. I mean, I might. We'll see. Yeah.
careful.
Yeah, that was like a highway alley. It's the Hanlon. It's like a sort of expressway of sorts.
It's Highway 6, basically.
Yeah, except it has traffic lights instead of interchanges. What kind of half-assed highway is that?
There's actually a lot of accidents on that highway because people, like truckers use it on long hauls. This is a really cool event space, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so truckers will use that, like, and they drive, like, you know, they long haul truckers, they've been on the road for days, right? And because there's lights, and you get these trucks like barreling down the road, and they don't realize that there's lights there. And by the time they see the light, they can't stop in time for the light.
No.
And so there's been a lot of accidents
Oh,
in
wow.
Guelph because you don't, and you can't really blame the truckers because like you're not expecting to see traffic lights on a highway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
They're not familiar with the area, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. And they're just passing through. And like by the time you see it, it's like, oh shit, you can't stop your truck in time. Like
Right.
that's not like I can't blame you. It's just kind of a poorly thought out highway.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. And Mike Landry, $5.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Hello, Ken and Megan. Happy Easter. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes,
Happy
thank
Easter
you.
to you too.
Yeah, same to you, Mike. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Enjoy your weekend.
Gustavo says, beautiful city. Did you catch the beginning of the stream when we were actually in the actual
City.
part of Guelph? Have to go back and check it out if you missed it. I was in downtown Guelph at the beginning.
It was quite lovely.
Yeah, downtown Guelph is quite nice.
Yeah, downtown Guelph is cool.
Yeah.
It's a neat little spot. Especially like you have all these cool like restaurants and little shops popping up there now.
Yeah.
And in the summertime they've been closing off part of downtown for patios. I think just like because of COVID, but I hope they do it again this summer. And it's got a really cool vibe. There's like fountains and stuff in the summer at City Hall.
Yeah.
And then in the winter they turn it into a skating rink. And it's like it's just got a really neat vibe. I hope they keep it closed off to cars this summer too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. It's a neat place to hang out downtown.
Hello again, Shirt Chick. Are you enjoying our walk through your city here, through the suburban parts. You never did tell us what part of Guelph you live in,
No,
Schnurchick.
I'm curious. Where are you at?
Novelcast, yeah, you have to watch the replay. Check out downtown Guelph. And I have an older video also of Megan and I walking around Guelph
Yeah.
downtown from 2020. From way back when the pandemic was new and fresh and young and vibrant.
Yes. Before we were all terribly jaded by it.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple options here. We're coming up to Willow West School, and we can either keep going straight down Willow until we hit my neighborhood, basically.
Yeah.
Or we can cross, we can turn at Willow West and then kind of take like a diagonal through, like a shortcut thing, like through that. It's not really a shortcut, it's the same distance,
Right.
but that'll take you through like a residential area. Or we can keep going down the street, which is like basically this all the way down to where I live. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do.
Well, maybe we'll cut through a residential area just to see something maybe a little more calm and pleasant, you know?
Pretty,
Yeah.
Actually, okay, if we cut through that area, we're gonna walk by Robert Munch's street.
Okay, Robert Munch. There's another famous Guelphite. That's right, Robert Munch,
Yeah.
the author, the children's author.
True story. Robert Munch was my 8th grade English teacher's kindergarten teacher, and I used to write a lot of stories when I was in 8th grade, and she thought I was a good writer, so she actually got Robert Munch to come in and read some of my stories, and he took them back to his editor. And they were never published or anything like that, because I was 13 and not that good at writing yet, but he read my stories and was like, yeah, you have talent, and it was just really cool. And I remember the whole thing was that he didn't want to make a big deal about coming to my school, because he didn't want to have to do the whole big reading thing and then the greeting with the principal and then the assembly, so we all kept it hush hush. So I met with him in the principal's office, and I was a really goody two-shoes kid, but my English teacher had arranged it with my parents and the principal and Robert Munch that I was going to talk to him about my writing, but nobody else knew about it, and I wasn't allowed to tell my friends or anything like that. So I was just sitting in class one day waiting for the principal to call me down, because I knew that was the day I was supposed to meet him, and I was so nervous and so excited. And then the phone call came in, so my teacher picks up the phone and she's like, oh, Megan, you need to go to the principal's office. And all my classmates were like, ooh, Megan's in trouble, because I was a goody two-shoes and I was never called to the principal's office ever. And then I was like, well, I'm going to meet Robert Munch, but I didn't say that, I just kind of thought it. And then I grabbed my story and ran downstairs, and I was so excited. It was such a cool day. And yeah, anyways, that was my story about meeting Robert Munch. Not that there was a point to that, but it was just a really neat thing, and it was a very cool memory that I have of grade school. Yeah, but it was just, and I didn't know that he used to be a kindergarten teacher, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked for his autograph because I brought all of my old Robert Munch books from childhood, and I was like, can you sign that?
Yeah.
But he was like, okay.
Right.
He was really nice. He's a cool guy. Okay, so we'll cross over onto Westwood, and we'll walk down that way.
We should have a day Guelph dedicated to him. Munch Day.
Honestly, we should have
Munch Day.
a Munch Day, kind of like Chomp Day.
Exactly, I was just going to say, it's not quite Chomp Day, but it's Munch Day, which
Should
is
be a Monday.
almost as good.
Munch Day. They should. My brother works for the city. I'm going to tell him that today. Okay, we should have Munch Day.
Oh, Bevy met him
Bevy, when did you meet him? That's so cool.
years ago in Halifax.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. He's such a cool guy. He's really chill.
I also mentioned that Nev Campbell is from Guelph, and so is Jane Siberry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jean Little, if anyone read Jean Little's books when they were younger, she's also from Guelph. Actually, if you were walking around downtown, you probably passed Jean Little's house.
Oh.
She went to GC too.
Wow.
She was a GC grad. Okay, so we'll just maybe cross. We'll just cross here and then cross there.
Okay. Bevy met him in 2000. So,
Ah,
yeah.
cool. You met him before I met him. I met him in 2003.
Suburbia.
And Suburbia. Yeah, here we are. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. We're not even like legit in Suburbia yet. You just wait.
Isn't this light already red? Why is it turning red now? You forget that people exist. Yeah.
You just gotta be aggressive with the cars here and be like, no, listen, pedestrians still exist.
Yeah.
You need to stop. Like, no. One of my best friends in middle school lived in this neighborhood here.
Okay. Oh, wait a sec.
Oh, did you get your notification?
My battery's at 6%.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to wrap it up, folks. I'm at 6%. So thank you very much. We made it almost all the way to Megan's. Basically, we're in her neighborhood, more or less. Yeah, we're in Megan's neighborhood. So thanks everyone for joining me on this long walk, and thanks to the mods, and thanks for the comments, and thanks for all the super chats. Very, very kind.
Yeah, it was great to see you guys. And enjoy your weekend. Aw. Cracked out. I wonder if the weather made it worse.
I think so. I think the wind. Because I looked at it at like 10 minutes ago, and it was at 34%.
I know, it wasn't bad at all.
And I was like, 34%, okay, I should be able to last a little longer, and then all of a sudden it was at 6%.
Weird. But hey, no vibes yet. I tried something different this morning. I read that like some people, like if you do have that allergy, sometimes it's made worse by food. And then I like realized that every time I've had like a hives outbreak when I was walking, I had just recently eaten food. So I thought, okay, I'm not gonna eat anything. Like I had my smoothie, like I normally do, but I was like, I'm not gonna eat any carbs or sugar or like eggs or anything that would trigger an allergy. And I'll try that. So that's good to know because I can tell, like when I go to the doctor, I can tell my doctor that.
Okay.
Yeah, so far so good. We've been walking for about like an hour.
Yeah.
I was super nervous about walking.
Really?
Yeah, I was like really stressed about it, but I was like, no, just do it, because if I don't do it, like I don't want to, it's like, you know when you fall off a horse or a bike and they tell you just to get back on?
Yeah.
So I was like, just do it, just get back on, you're okay.
Right.
And I was like, if anything happens, you'll just stop and call an Uber, like don't worry, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I just made myself do it, and I'm glad I did.
Okay, good.
So, I can be rational.
Yes, you can.
It's hard, but I can do it. So he lives down there on Wimbledon. I'm not sure which house though.
Okay.
It's down in there somewhere.
And I cleaned up with the super chats. Holy,
How much did you get?
close to $200
Holy
maybe.
shit.
Yeah.
Thanks for your ride out here in Vincent.
Yeah. I'm glad I was able to sort of end the stream before the phone died.
Yeah.
You know, just thank people for the super chats.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
I hate when I don't get a chance to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to do that so that
Yeah.